Layna here. Welcome back to my channel. This channel is all about my recovery from anorexia. Today's video is a video where I am doing a name reveal for my eating disorder, which is kind of strange, right? But my eating disorder therapist has had me name my eating disorder so I can start to differentiate between myself and the eating disorder, and so that my identity will not be linked to my eating disorder. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what the name is, why did I name it that, and why are we naming my eating disorder. Alright, and so without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay guys, so it did not take me very long to come up with a name, because it kind of just clicked in my head as soon as she said that she wanted me to name my eating disorder. I knew exactly what it had to be. So I recently, not recently, it was a while back, on my Instagram, I posted a meme that I made about a SpongeBob meme. A SpongeBob meme. And so, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and reveal it. The name of my eating disorder is Plankton, which I know is so random for people who don't quite understand it. I'm gonna put it right here. I made a meme, a SpongeBob meme, about how it feels to have like at least for me, how it feels for me to have those voices in my head, and I feel like I have a little person in my head controlling me, and it's like putting things into my head, putting thoughts into my head. And so I could only describe it as that episode from SpongeBob where Plankton goes into his brain and is controlling him and feeding him stuff and feeding things into his brain. And that's the only way I ever really could describe it to other people. And so I just knew I had to name my eating disorder Plankton. And it fits perfectly for me, at least. And so everybody's name, if you name your eating disorder, the name for everybody will be different, because you want to make sure it's something that works for you, right? And so I named it Plankton because I feel as if I have a little plankton in my head controlling me, feeding my brain negative thoughts, feeding me negative thoughts, pulling a wool over my eyes when I look at my body. So I feel like it fits, and so I really like it. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I really like the name Plankton for the eating disorder. Why am I naming my eating disorder? So a lot of the time, for me at least, I have associated myself with my eating disorder. It has become a huge part of my life. And for over a year, I have had an eating disorder, and it has become such a main point in my life. And so I associated my identity with my eating disorder. And I felt like my eating disorder was who I was, and I thought that all these feelings, the negativity, was coming from me. And so having an eating disorder name, like a name for your eating disorder, helps, because if you are, let's just say, you're like, I'm scared to gain weight, you instead would say, Plankton is scared to gain weight. Because the real you that's inside of you isn't the one that's, in control right now. And so, you know, it's just, and just not associating those voices with you. So like, the eating disorder has tried to convince me that the voices in my head telling me these negative things, telling me these things that make me scared, are me. It's telling me that it's me and my voice, and it's who I am, because it's trying to hide the fact that it still has control over me so that it doesn't lose that control. But ever since I have been trying to just use the name Plankton and identify those feelings, the eating disorder's negativity, instead of associating it with my own, my voice in my head. So it helps differentiate, right? And so I can see what's the eating disorder and what's me, right? And so I'm not afraid to gain weight. The eating disorder is. I am not afraid of this food. The eating disorder is. Stuff like that. It helps, because then it will starts to differentiate, right? And your identity will not be attached to your eating disorder, because you are not your eating disorder. That is the hugest thing that I want to say, is that you are not your eating disorder. You are so much more. There's a beautiful list of things about you, and your eating disorder is not on that list. And so, yeah, naming your eating disorder can be very therapeutic, because it helps you realize that it's not you. it's a disease. It's a little demon in your head. That's how I describe it. It's a little demon in my head. And it may not be the case for everybody, but I do feel like there is a little person in my head. And I regard it as a demon because it has messed with my life in ways that I just, I never expected to have an eating disorder. And so it helps you realize that these thoughts are not from you. They're from your eating disorder. And it helps to give it a name, right? And so Plankton is my eating disorder's name. And I feel like it fits quite nicely for me, at least, because of the meme I made. And that's exactly how it feels for me. It feels like a little plankton crawled into my head and is taking the controls and is feeding my brain negativity, pulling a wool over my eyes so I don't see things correctly, controlling my emotions and just controlling my life and controlling my decisions. And it's really hard. And one thing that I just want to disassociate myself with my eating disorder. Because I, for 100% know this for a fact, I will not have my eating disorder forever. I'm going to kick its butt, and I'm going to get rid of it. And so, but once I get rid of it, I want to be able to already have that identity established, that I am not my eating disorder, and so when I come out of this on the other side, I don't want to be lost and confused because my eating disorder has been such a huge part of my life. I want to start to build a life that's outside of my eating disorder while I'm recovering, so that by the time I have defeated this little demon in my head, I already know who I am outside of my eating disorder. And so naming your eating disorder can help establish that and start that. And the name, it's not going to be the same for everyone, obviously, because not everybody wants to name their eating disorder Plankton. So, I've heard Annie, I've heard Eddie, I've heard Anna, I've heard so many different things, and there's no right name, like it could be anything. And so as long as it just takes some time to think about it, and what will work for you, what has meaning to you. And I find it very therapeutic already. I've had this name for me sort of for a single day, and it has been so therapeutic because beforehand I would talk aloud. I'd be like, stop feeding my brain these things, but I wasn't able to direct it, right? And so if I can just be like, Plankton, stop, it's almost as if I am actually talking to the eating disorder and saying stop, right? And so it's very helpful and very therapeutic, and I definitely recommend it. So yeah, and my therapist recommended it, and I feel like it's gonna do a lot more good. It's gonna help a lot to be able to disassociate myself from eating disorder and differentiate myself and have an identity outside of it, because there is life outside of eating disorder, and you have an identity that is not your eating disorder, because you are not your eating disorder, right? So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really excited to reveal the name of my eating disorder. And I'm so sorry I've been very inactive. As you saw in my previous video, it's been very hectic, very crazy. I'm going to try to find some more spare moments to post on Instagram, make little posts, post videos. I want to find time for all of it, and I'm going to do my best. And I appreciate your guys' patience with me as I'm trying to find a new balance of everything. So yeah, I'm going to be coming out with some more recovery help videos, tips, all the tips and tricks, and definitely be sending out some updates on my recovery. So yeah, here's my Instagram. I post there frequently. I'm really back into it now. So yeah, here is my TikTok. I don't get on there very often, honestly. I prefer Instagram. So yeah. Also, another note that I'm going to add in at the end here, I started an eating disorder recovery support group on Discord. So, if you want to join that for some recovery help and recovery support, just message me on Instagram and I will add you to it. I'm not going to post the link publicly, obviously, but yes, I am going to if you message me on Instagram, I will send you the link. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Keep kicking eating disorder butt. Remember that I love you guys and that I really appreciate all your support. Have a great day, guys. Bye.